You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 713 of the Dressage Radio Show, official podcast of the United States Dressage Federation on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. On this week's USDF episode, we chat with Kate Fleming-Kuhn about the reworked Instructor certification program. Then we have a really informative talk with Cassandra Hummert-Johnson about the discussions held at the FEI Forum in Switzerland. And to finish off the episode, Reese and I will talk about how we became instructors.
This is Reese Koffler-Stanfield from Georgetown, Kentucky.
And this is Philip Parks from Rockwood, Ontario, and you're listening to the Dressage Radio Show.
Hi, Phil. How are you this week?
Hi, Reese. I have some exciting news.
Yeah. Tell me.
Christoph Hess is coming to our area up here in Canada.
Are you riding?
And I'm riding. I was selected to ride, so I submitted the little video and
he's wonderful
with a ton of confidence. But it's a really nice horse. He just needs some more miles. He just needs to get out there and do
things like that
and do the things, So I thought Christoph Hess would be a great instructor for us to work with and to get the horse out and to be in a show-like environment.
Yeah.
So
congratulations. Oh, that'll be so fun. He's wonderful. He's wonderful.
I just want to stay on and stay in the ring. That's our two prerequisites.
Yes, that would be ideal. Yeah.
This one is known to get. He's just not confident, and so he just gets scared and he runs away. So. Don't want to get run away with.
Don't run away in the forum. But that's so exciting. We'll think of the positives and not the negatives or what could be negatives. That is exciting. He is wonderful. He's really one of the most wonderful masters that are still here with us. And that is exciting. I don't have that good. My news isn't that exciting. We did have an American win Land Rover.
Right. I saw that pop up on the feed. Yeah.
Congratulations to Tammy Smith. That was exciting. I was able to go on Thursday and do a little shopping. I'm not going to lie. But my best friend actually got married this weekend. So I was doing a lot of personal things and events with her and it was lots of fun. And so I didn't get to go.
It's wedding season.
It's wedding season. So that was really exciting. I was her matron of honor and so we had lots of fun events. So I missed kind of all the Land Rover events, but it was worth it. So it's very exciting. So shout out to Brooke
this weekend,
Chris.
Kentucky Derby.
I know. I don't know if anybody has their picks. I also haven't looked at the Derby.
I haven't looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good. And, if you ever get a chance to go to the Derby, Phil has come with my husband and I, Travis. And Travis is from Louisville. So it's fun to go back there. We haven't been in a couple of years. But this is such a fun week in our state. Like everyone is so busy and there's a lot going on. And it's definitely our 2 weeks to shine, which is really fun. It's ironic that it's actually during like the most up and down weather one could have. So, it's like, but right now it's
so spring and fall, though. You don't want to plan anything for the summer, which can be quite humid and
and hot.
Yeah. You don't want your bride to be sweating in her wedding dress.
No, that's not good. We were definitely not sweating. I can tell you that it was cold. But it's super, super fun couple weeks here in Kentucky. So I hope if you're having a Derby party, enjoy mint julep on us. From Kentucky for sure. So it's always great times. But we have a really good show for everybody tonight. It's our USDF episode, and I think we've got some great information. So we hope you enjoy.
This Nutrition Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, the company that simplifies your search for research-proven nutritional supplements at kppusa.com.
Did you know that easy keepers and horses on restricted diets are often at risk for vitamin and mineral deficiencies? Most easy keepers are maintained on hay, and some get a few handfuls of grain a day, and most of these horses get little to no green grass. Diets that don't include significant levels of green grass or recommended amounts of fortified concentrates just don't supply enough vitamins and minerals. Many horse folks don't realize that hay alone, even high-quality green hay, is not an adequate source of many vitamins. For example, when grass is cut and dried for hay, the vitamins quickly lose their potency. 70% of the vitamin E found in grass is lost in the first week after it is cut for hay. One way to ensure that your special needs horse is getting all the vitamins and minerals he needs is to add a vitamin and mineral supplement to his diet. A well-balanced supplement will provide the nutrients your horse requires without adding unwanted calories, starches, and sugars. Microphase, made by Kentucky Performance Products, is a vitamin and trace mineral supplement that bridges the gap in your feeding program. With Microphase, your horse receives adequate and balanced vitamin and mineral nutrition without unwanted calories or other ingredients. The minerals in Microphase have been chelated, a process that protects minerals during digestion and increases their absorption in the intestine. Microphase provides vitamins, such as vitamin E, in a natural form, so your horse receives optimal results from this supplement.
This Nutritional Minute has been brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. You can find all of their terrific products at kppusa.com.
Founded in 1973, the United States Dressage Federation has become the largest organization to represent a single Olympic equestrian discipline. At nearly 30,000 members strong, USDF is your connection to dressage education, competition, and achievement. Visit USDF.org to learn more about USDF education, competition and award programs, and to shop our online store. Again, that's USDF.org, your online destination for dressage.
Well, for this month's USDF episode, we are so happy to have faculty member of the new Instructor Trainer Development Program, Kate Fleming-Kuhn. Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we are thrilled. This is so exciting to have this new program. It's been in the works a while, so I think all of us are thrilled to kind of hear what's going on. But I have known you and I were we on the same Young Rider team? Or my sister?
I think it was actually maybe with both of you.
Yes, that's how long Kate and I have known each other.
Let's not talk day 3.
So I'm so excited to have her on here. She is also a USDF certified instructor. She has had many, many riders in the regional championships along with her husband. And so, Kate, tell us also a little bit more about yourself before we get into what you're doing for USDF.
Martin and I, my husband, Martin Kuhn, and I run an active training program for developing horses, but also developing riders. And we have a real passion for sharing our knowledge and educating both.
Yeah. And you guys literally have a kids program all the way up to Grand Prix, right? You do all the levels.
We do. We have a total of 5 instructors right now that are operating out of Star West. We run an active school horse program that is accessing and offers beginner program to both adults and kids that have never ridden a horse and certainly never heard of dressage. So it's busy atmosphere, just of education.
I love it.
So where are you guys based out of?
We are located in New Berlin, Illinois.
Fantastic. Well, Kate, so tell us, you've been a certified instructor for a long time and you became part of the faculty. So tell us a little bit about this was the instructor certification program, but it's been it's being rebranded. It's been completely revamped and it's now called the Instructor Trainer Development Program. So tell us a little bit about, because we know you just had your first workshop with Sarah Geeky. Tell us a little bit about kind of the program and what's going on over there.
There are a lot of really exciting changes that have taken place. And the big thing is that we are looking to broaden the offering of education to a larger group. That if you may be an amateur rider, junior, young rider, looking to learn more about training, teaching, lunging, we are offering programs that are designed to cover a much broader base than simply professionals who are looking to go through the process to become certified. So that is really the significant change that has taken place. In addition, there are many online education resources that are available through the USDF website and specifically USDF University. There still is the instructor certification program in the sense that we do offer professional development is what it's now called. And that is really the pathway for professionals who are looking to become certified, like you and I went through, Reese. It's still very similar in that what we went through all those years ago. Again, we don't have to get too exactly how long ago that was.
Yeah, exactly. But
so we still are offering that.
Which is great, because one of the big feedbacks coming through all the certified instructors were people that weren't ready to take the exam. So there was a big kind of misconception in a way that if you went to those workshops, you were going to be kind of educated to become a trainer. And that was actually not the case. It was, you went there to be certified. So if you weren't sort of ready to go and, you would learn the format and then be able to test, there really wasn't anything to sort of help people get better. And there wasn't, it was an evaluation more than it was learning to become a better instructor. So that was a lot of feedback that USDF got. And so they were thrilled. This is this program. Tell us a little bit about it, Kate. When you come and you want to go and you're like, okay, I really want to go to this program. How does that work?
The dressage development seminars, the first day is sort of geared in a sense like the format of the L program. So the first day is a larger group. It's a general audience, and we're using demonstration riders so that information can be passed along to a much broader base. And you're not on the spot for what you know. You are there to be supplied information. The second day, which is an optional second day of these seminars, is more the format of the workshops that we went through, where it's a smaller group, it is more individualized. We are looking more for what knowledge they have on that second day.
That sort of makes some sense. I'm just trying to figure out who would tell me if I was ready to, move forward with the testing. That's a separate situation, or where does the evaluation occur?
Yeah, on the second day, when you're in that smaller group, we do fill out. The faculty does fill out a form with, the information what you did well, what could be better, and so looking to give you feedback that you can then take forward with you to improve upon, and also what went well.
Fantastic. So this one is kind of more, it's not the general audience. This is more, it's a little bit more one-on-one to say, okay, you're ready to go, you're not ready to go, or you need to work on these things before you go forward to the testing, right? It's more of a friendly evaluation type situation.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And so, you've gone through this process. Your GMO has hosted or would like to host one of these. Then what happens next after this workshop?
The next step would be if you are looking to become certified, which not everybody that participates is going to move forward in that direction. The next step would be the professional development seminar.
Great.
And that is a little bit more like if you want to think of it this way, what the pre-certification used to be. So that's running through more like a mock testing situation.
Right. Because Philip is also certified in Canada, and I think their system's a little bit different. But in America, you have to really know the system. And Phil, I don't actually know exactly how your tests are set up, but ours
works a little bit in it's more of kind of a mentorship program in Canada. So you have to it works better if you have a mentor, so who's going to kind of hold your hand through the steps. So you can have your coach. That's, a coach is not a mentor. It's somebody who is already certified, has been through it, and who understands, our system. And that was really helpful for me. Jill Stedman was my mentor through the program
process.
Yeah, through the process. So there was a bit of hand holding, and there's some courses that you have to do that are mandatory.
The mentorship. This is something that we're the faculty within USDF is actively discussing, and the need for it for us as well to help guide people, just as you're referring to help guide people through the process. So I think that this is something that is actively being discussed.
Yeah, which is good. So, because that is one of the hard things. I mean, being someone, I've never tested well in any part of my life. So it is difficult. And I think that's being looked at as well as, understanding, there has to be some level of testing to show what you know, but it is scary if you don't know the process and you're not prepared for the process. Once I sort of knew the process, it helped my anxiety a lot. And so that I could actually use my words. There are a few times I was like, I can't get words out. And I think they're really looking at that.
Just like recording this show.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly right. But there's no edit button, Phil.
In real life. Yeah.
In real life. But yeah, so Kate, I think that's great. Is there anything else, kind of what should people be looking for if you're interested in the program? Where does this go from here? Because it's not been incredibly well publicized, and that's what we're trying to kind of break through the barrier, even with this interview.
Yes. And part of that is because these changes are really just beginning to become active, and things have been within the program. We have taken a bit of a pause in terms of scheduling, advertising, and so on, because we've been wanting to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row before we really say, okay, now we're ready to get
now we're going,
so to speak. Now we're going. But the website is absolutely, USDF's website is absolutely the number one resource for information and for what's the most current information that's going on with the program and the calendar, what's been scheduled. But I'm hoping that we're going to see many opportunities popping up around the United States now that the first one has gone off.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. How did the first one go?
It went great. It was very well received. We were hosted by Lori Barrett in Park City, Utah, and we had just a ton of enthusiasm from the group of people that came on that first day. So that larger group, I'm going to say we had around 30 to 40 people that came to audit, and just a really enthusiastic group wanting to learn and to gather the information that we were there to present.
Awesome. Well, that is such great
news.
Good,
well, yeah. I mean, nobody gets hurt by extra education, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's something that I'm really happy to see, the changes that are occurring within this program. There is so much good information that is available that has been accumulated over the years, in a sense, by the faculty and the people that have been involved in this program, that to have that being able to be offered to a larger group of participants, I think is really good.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I think we're all students, right? At the end of the day, and we're all teachers. On this call, we're all instructors. So finding different ways to say things, or different way that people deal with different situations, it's a really, you kind of come back and I always say you refill your pot a little bit. When you're an instructor, you're always giving information. So it's nice to have resources now where you can go and get information. That's really, really helpful. And get better at our job.
And I think there are not so many opportunities, at least in the United States, that are particularly opportunities to learn how to systematically teach better. And we have a lot of opportunities for how to ride better, but how to systematically teach better. And that personally when I went through the program personally, I really felt I came out a much stronger instructor having gone through that program, which is really what it's all about, is, as you said, refilling your pot, gaining new tools, and just to continue to improve, whether that's as an instructor, as a rider, lunging for sure. I think that's an area where many people could be a lot better. Yeah.
Huge. I think lunging, if anything, of all the groups, that's the thing I give every one of my students that program, because that was so helpful for me. And I think it's really one of the places that people lack the most. When you go see someone lunge, you're like, oh my God.
It's also, a little bit the most dangerous part of, everything that we do. I mean, okay, yes, getting on the horse and riding around. I mean, that's somewhat dangerous, but lunging is very dangerous if you aren't doing thing right for the rider and the horse.
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
It's not just spinning the horse around on a big long line and hoping for the best, but everybody needs to be taught how to lunge safely.
Right. For sure. Well, fantastic. Well, Kate, anything else you want to give our audience about the program or things that are going to continue to come out when it is fully active?
I think just continue to look to the USDF website for updates and kind of what's currently happening. And other than that, just a lot of excitement about getting this information out there.
Well, congratulations. I know you and the other faculty members did a ton of work on this. This was a really big revamp, and congratulations. And how can our listeners find you online and find more about your program? Because it's a great program.
We are on Facebook, Star West and Star West Academy. And then we also have a website, starwestonline.net.
Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you.
Especially with performance horses, flies can really be a nuisance. Fly predators are a great investment of all the different poisons and insecticides and different things you could use. I don't know of anything that is more economical and more effective than Spalding fly predators.
Well, tonight we are so happy to have Cassandra Hummert-Johnson on the program. She is a dear friend of mine, and she's been on the show a lot. But Cassie, you just went to the FEI Sports Forum in Lausanne, Switzerland, and you are now an FEI steward. So, hi, welcome to the show, and we can't wait to hear about your adventure.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Cassie, you went on this journey, which is an amazing journey, to become a steward and a technical delegate. Can you kind of tell us where you are in this process? Because it's complicated. I can't even keep track of you.
At the moment, I am an FEI Level 1 steward for show jumping, and I will be attending a promotion course in July of this year in Belgium to be promoted to a Level 2 steward for show jumping. So that's sort of where I am in the process, but I'm also pursuing other things on the side through both the USDF and the FEI.
Right. And still active riding. You haven't given up your riding. You're also doing this career, which is amazing because we need more TDs and stewards. It's really an important part of the industry that, doesn't get enough kind of attention, but also younger people going into it. So I know they're thrilled to have you. So tell us, you just went to this FEI Sport Forum. This is amazing. You literally texted me and said you were in Switzerland. I was like, what? Huh? I just saw you. But tell us about this forum and why you decided to go, because it's pretty cool.
Well, I really wanted to see the FEI headquarters. I felt like I'm part of this organization. I have taken these steps to be a professional in this industry in the FEI, which as a high performance rider, that is our governing body. So I wanted to meet these people and see what it's like over in Europe. And the FEI Sports Forum is held every year in Lausanne, Switzerland, not at the FEI headquarters, but in Lausanne, which is where the FEI headquarters is. And it's open to all FEI stakeholders. And every year they have a different agenda and different speakers and panelists, and they post that agenda prior to the forum, so you can have a look and see if it's something that's up your alley. And yeah, I felt like this is a great time to go. I feel like I've had good experience under my belt. I understand more about the structure of the FEI, and why not go and network and see if I can learn something about the sport that I am very heavily involved in.
So I think, what you said was that you're on the show jumping steward track. So what helped you make that decision?
I think that decision is one of the craziest things I've done, and would not have guessed that this is what I was doing. I have been pursuing the show jumping for a couple of reasons. I started by pursuing the dressage track in America through the National Federation to become a technical delegate. And all of these tracks to become an official or a judge, as we all know, have different sets of requirements. And I am on this official track. So the TD program has its own requirements that I am working on. But to become an FEI steward for the dressage, you have to take a course, an FEI course, and then you have to become a TD before you can become a level 2 steward. So it has its own process. In the show jumping, you can take the course and then you can become a level 2 and a level 3 steward without becoming a national steward or without going through the national program. And I chose to go the show jumping route because of 2 reasons. Because there was a course, a level 1 course in America, which is very rare. And there was no dressage course anywhere, maybe at all. I can't remember. And because our FEI Steward General in America, Dan Reed, he gave me a call and said, if you want to pursue the show jumping, I would love to help you apprentice. I'd love to help you get into this. We need young stewards. I will help you. And that's what got me into it. I said, okay. He said, I'll help you at this horse show. If you can. I said, you can apprentice. Okay. And I went, and I think what the beauty of it is as a competitor in the FEI, I understand a lot of the process already, what the FEI is, the security and the stabling, the process of the officials. I don't know about the fences or the boots that they wear, but I have learned that and continue to learn as the rules continue to change. And it's amazing how quickly I feel very comfortable in that space that really is not my home space.
Right.
But, it's been an amazing process to do that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So what was Switzerland like? You went. Tell us a little bit about kind of your journey over there, because this is pretty cool.
Well, my journey was pretty nice. It was easy. I flew to Geneva on Delta and landed, right there, which was quite convenient. And I then went to Lausanne and stayed at a hotel that was, chosen as the hotel for the forum. So everyone was staying there, which was very nice to see everybody at breakfast and for drinks, and just to have everyone in one place was really special. And the forum itself was over 2 days. It was 2 about 8-hour days at a business school that was within walking distance. And it's a beautiful location. It's just beautiful. It's on the lake. They have tulips everywhere. I could not get over the flowers. That really made my whole trip. And it was an enjoyable experience. And I can go into talking a little bit about the structure and what we talked about, but that was the basic structure of this, my travel and trip there itself.
Great. So jump into the forum, because it sounded very interesting this year.
What's the agenda of this? This is you talked about each year they have sort of a specific topic. So we're interested to hear all about what's the focus this year.
Sure. So there's been a lot going on. We hear about it every day. There's just all sorts of topics that are hot in the, equestrian community across all disciplines, not just in the dressage. And really the sports forum focused on the, as the industry as a whole. It was not necessarily discipline specific. There was a show jumping section and an endurance section, but otherwise it was across the industry. So this year's agenda was about equine ethics and well-being. It was about technology. It was about Paris 2024, the cost of show jumping events, FEI key event requirements, and the FEI endurance rules revision. So those were the 6 topics that were covered over 2 days, so 3 topics a day. And we began with a very large discussion about social license to operate and about equine ethics and well-being, which is, a big topic right now.
It's a massive
It's a
topic.
massive topic. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Right.
So sort of as an overview, social license to operate is the perception of both stakeholders and members of the public. It's the perception of ethics and welfare and the well-being of the horse. And we have concerns about this because horse welfare and horse safety have different meanings and different perceptions from different people. And we really have to work hard to make sure that we can operate these horse shows in the public space, which provides a lot of funding to run them, and make sure that everybody understands, and not just understands, but that there is a general understanding of horse welfare and credibility. And that's how the FEI approaches this topic, is that the FEI says that in order to be successful in social license to operate, the FEI has to be a leader, they have to be trusted, they have to be transparent, they have to be proactive, and they have to be accountable, and that there is a balance. And there's a balance that on 2 sides. On one side is social license, which gives you the freedom to operate. But then on the other side is called social control. And as soon as there's legislation, that takes away your freedom to operate. And we really have to use credibility and trust in the middle to keep that balance perfectly balanced so that we can continue to do these events in the public eye.
Well,
that's a pretty important part, right?
Right.
Yeah, especially with Olympics, not too far ahead. And as a steward, you've got a real big responsibility to uphold the rules of our sport and uphold the equine welfare part of that.
And that's exactly right. And when they did a survey, there's a large percentage of both the public and people that are stakeholders, meaning us, that believe that there could be improvements in horse welfare. And so the FEI has created a task force for this. It's called the Equine Ethics and Wellbeing Commission. And it is their job to look at these issues and to create communication and to be the public relations in this area. And they've broken this down into 6 areas, which I do find interesting. So when we talk about what this commission is doing, they're focusing on these 6 areas: training and riding, tack and equipment, recognizing physical and emotional stress, the other 23 hours of the day, not fit to compete or masking health problems, and accountability, enforcement, and knowledge. So obviously I'm a little bit, focused on tack and equipment and accountability, but think about the other 23 hours of the day. This commission is going to work to define what that 23 hours of the day is and then relay that to the public so that they feel comfortable knowing that 23 hours of the day, the horse has a good life. And that's, I think, challenging,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
More and more as our populations get urbanized, more and more separation between the general population and the farm animal, right? So for us dealing with sport horses, it's important that people feel like they're our partners and our competitors that are being taken care of and appreciated, and they have access to all of the medical expertise that they need.
and that they have a good life. And we have to be able to define what a good life is. You know, we define it one way, different industry defines it another way. And I think that we all have to sort of come together, the public, us, stakeholders, everyone, and define what is a good life for a horse. What does that look like? And then how do we, you know, make people comfortable that these horses are having that? We think that they're getting chiro and massage and this and that and, you know, $800 shoes. But to the public, they want to see them grazing out in a field. So it's a communication. It is a discussion that has to be had, and that discussion has to be had no matter what the opinions are. We have to keep discussing. You can't just say you don't know what you're talking about, slam the door. If we want to keep doing this, we have to talk about it, you know?
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So that was a key part of this sports forum. That was a big part of the first day, and just very interesting topics. But the FEI is doing it, you know, at least taking proactive steps to create this commission that is, you know, going to focus on these issues, that is dedicated to these issues. We moved on to technology. The FEI has 36 technological platforms that they use for all sorts of things. If you've ever, you know, been in the FEI, they have apps for the rules and for the vets and for the stewards, and they really are technology heavy. So at this forum, they introduced two things that were new. They introduced a upcoming rollout of a equine influenza vaccination record that will be on an app, so that the vet can see when the horse, if and when the horse has been vaccinated for EHV, instead of using the passport, which will make it a faster and more secure process. That will be interesting, you know, to see that and how that works. And I know the vets spend a lot of time, especially in the jumping, when they have 350 horses sitting there validating these EHV vaccinations. And I'm sure it's a bear to do that. So this hopefully will be a positive.
We'll be able
thing,
to do it. Yeah.
Streamlined process.
Yes, exactly. For all of them.
Exactly. And then the second piece of technology they introduced was the FEI TAC app, which is out. It can be downloaded. It is a work in progress, but it lists photos and every piece of equipment that gosh, you know, I think exists, but man, there's so much more that exists. But it tells you if it's legal for what sport, in what division, at what time. It's a pretty cool app. It will get better.
That's FEI.
And the stewards, that's FEI,
Cassie,
the FEI TAC app. Yep.
That's
FEI.
not a USDF. So if
Correct.
just so people
FEI.
aren't confused. If you're in a CDI, that's the app you need. Some of them are different. The TAC is different between the FEI and USDF. Just so people know that. Exactly.
That's exactly right. This is for the FEI only. But it is interesting because I think a lot of stewards and FEI stewards will utilize it because you can submit photos. So if I'm at an event stewarding, I can submit a photo of something that I've seen on a horse, and it will go to a review board, and they will determine if it is legal or not. And then I think in the future that will then be added to this database. That's how it was implied during this, and that would be really cool because you know that's what you need. You need input from people in order to have it be comprehensive. You know.
And jumping, the TAC is a little more elaborate, right? Than dressage. We're a little bit more boring in that end. Yeah.
It's different. There's a lot of specialty equipment that is, you know, specialty made or handmade or custom made or whatever. And so you don't just go somewhere and, you know, purchase it at a tax store.
Right. Somebody made it, right. Which doesn't happen.
Correct.
And technical dressage, I don't think
very often. Bit different. A little bit different, but really cool. They have good, smart people working on these apps, and they presented them really well and with a lot of excitement. So I think that they really, you know, have a lot of pride in being able to offer this technology to people in the FEI.
Cool.
We enjoyed it.
Very cool. Very cool.
So I know that everybody is excited about Paris. I am excited about Paris. If you've seen the Palace of Versailles, which is where the event will be taking place, it is absolutely beautiful and historic. And that is where the dressage and show jumping will, and the eventing, show jumping will take place and dressage. So we did a little talk about that. And my takeaways from Paris is that there is a lot of regulation surrounding that historic venue. And they are working very hard to, make this happen in a sustainable and respectful way. And I hope it all comes together. Beautiful plans. I hope it all comes together.
Where it's got to start, right?
Yep. Beautiful.
So Cassie, what were kind of some takeaways or tips that you want to give everybody from this trip and from this forum?
Sure. So I listened to a lot of very interesting people in the FEI speak that week. I really came away from it feeling like I was part of something bigger. And that was my intention with coming into the FEI in the first place, is I wanted to feel a part of something that was important in this industry. So there are a lot of topics that are important, and you can't, take them all away. But I have two quotes that I would like to finish with that were very meaningful to me. And the first one is that social license cannot be self-awarded, which I think that we have to really take this to heart and open our lines of discussion to the people around us about what we do, and work hard to garner the trust and this relationship with the public and what we do with horses. I think that's important. And then the final thing I wanted to say that I took away from this forum is that the horse can't speak for itself, but the horse is the FEI's number one stakeholder. And I think that also goes with the previous statement. We are so blessed to be involved with these animals. I love what I do. I love being around horses. I think we all do that are in this industry. And we have to take care of them. We have to look forward to the future. And we don't want this sport to die. We want it to be in the Olympics. We want it to be in the public eye. So we really have to work together to give the horse a voice and to ensure that the horse has a good life. And that is important to me and to all of us in the sport.
Awesome. I love it. Well, Cassie, how can our listeners find you online if they have any questions or want to know more about stewarding and the path that you're taking?
I am on Instagram, Lavendel Dressage, Lavendel, or lavendeldressage.com. And you can find all sorts of resources about stewarding for both the USDF and the FEI at fei.org and USDF. So I encourage anybody to take a look around if you're interested in becoming an official.
Yeah, it's very cool. Awesome. Well, we're so proud of you. Great job.
Thank you.
Even under the best circumstances, travel is stressful for horses. We've all been there, stuck on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. You can make the journey knowing that US Rider is there for you. Get peace of mind on the road with US Rider's nationwide 24/7 roadside assistance coverage for both you and your horse. Join today at usrider.org.
Well, Reese, I was trying to think of, some advice for anybody who's like thinking of becoming an instructor or a teacher, or, what were some thoughts that you had about that topic?
Well, I think this is a really good topic because you and I are both instructors, and, kind of how did we make it there, right? I do get that question a lot. And, I do teach a lot. I teach now also at the university. I've been there almost 10 years. And so I think at first, when I first started becoming an instructor, I was lucky enough to go through the certification process when I was in grad school. So I was doing grad school, and then I also went through the instructor certification process. Not necessarily something I would recommend, but it was good because I was kind of in sort of that studying professional development type part of my life. And I think going to the instructor certification was great. I was already teaching lessons. I think by personality, I really enjoy teaching. While my sister, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this, she likes it now more as as an adult. When we were younger, it wasn't as much of her cup of tea as it was for me. So, I started teaching a lot when I was in college, and I taught actually a lot of eventers first, which was great because it kind of gave me a lot of confidence. And I'm sorry to most of my eventers because I teach a lot of upper level eventers now, but when I was teaching the beginners, not as much, it's not as technical, right? It's novice and training. Eventing is like training first level. I also was very, very lucky to train with Conrad Schumacher. And I trained with Conrad since the time I was 14. And Conrad is an amazing instructor. I mean, he is really one of the masters in the world of coaching. And one of the reasons he is he coaches riders, not horses. And he always used to say that. He's like, my job is to coach you guys as riders and not, you're going to go through many horses in your career. I need to coach you. So what he did at that time was, and several professionals came out of this group, he would make us come together and he would make us do lectures, which was excellent. So one of the things that we had to do when we went to clinics with Conrad or Herr Schumacher was we would get together 3 times or 4 times a year for 3 days. And we would go in and have theory sessions. And I was, I think, around that time, 16 to 18. And I had never been taught theory in like a classroom setting. It wasn't in the horses. He would make us go in there and learn theory, which we don't do enough. I do think Pony Club does some of it, and depending on your instructor, how much they do or not do. But, at the end of the day, you have to have somebody that's invested in teaching you theory and why you do things the way you do it. And so I credit a lot of my coaching to Mr. Schumacher, especially at that part and when I was that age. So that also helped me get a lot more confidence when it came to coaching. And then I moved forward to the instructor certification and got the certification through 4th level. And I had that certification for about 15 years, I think. So a long time. And then I really felt like it was time to go back for the FEI certification to kind of go and heighten my skill, but also just that level of organization and making sure that truly I was doing a good job at my job. So I moved forward. So all of this stuff, and I think that would be as an instructor, and we did kind of talk about it, but it is expensive to become any career. And this is our profession. You and me, Philip, this is what we do for a living. So I feel like it's important to have certifications and to go through the programs. I'm thrilled they're redoing the USDF program that's been in the works a while to try to really make it so that everybody can participate. And it also will help. It'll be a little bit more of a streamlined approach to becoming an instructor. But if you're interested, you really have to seek people out. And I think that's really important. You have to go, you have to find mentorship. I needed a mentor, and I worked many years with Kathy Conley and rode with her, and she was wonderful. I went to her and I said, I really need help with this certification. I need you to help me, with the exam. I need you to help me making sure that I know the information. So absolutely seek out mentors. I think it's going to be more part of the program now. But even if not, go to your nearest certified instructor, and if you're interested, and see what they do. Or, there's a list on the USDF website of all of the certified instructors, and I know anyone would help you. Anyone on that list would help you become. So that was my journey, right?
Is just trying to create a community of instructors, and I think that everyone who has already done it will be fully invested in helping you to be part of that community. I think that's an important part of being certified, is also encouraging others to do it. So I think
100%.
If you'd like to start down that path, just contact someone, shoot an email and or talk to somebody at a horse show or whatever. However you want to make contact, I think that's an important first step, right?
And Phil, can you tell us your journey to becoming an instructor?
So I had a great teacher growing up, but very, very, she was like very Pony Club way, which was also kind of the way my parents, but there wasn't a flourishing pony club in my area, how it was. So we were sort of isolated and whatever. And then after high school, I sought out a working student position. I did that. And then Penny and Johan Rocks were very involved in trying to make sure that I was going home, in a successful way, like being prepared. And part of that preparation was they tried to help me to learn and be motivated to teach lessons, because at the end of the day, that's how we make money. And if anybody knows me, I struggle with talking, and just I think that's a common thing, right? It's just, but they just made sure that I was confident enough that I could go to the middle of the arena and give a lesson. So then they were very fully, very invested in like helping me find words, and which I still struggle with. But
funny enough, everybody, he did fine. He has a podcast. He's done great.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, it's not so easy for me. Like,
no, it's hard.
Is a real. Like we always joke that she's never met a stranger, but I mean, she's, I admire her for her ability just to go up to anyone and just start a conversation and all of that. And for sure, I can do that now, I think. But at the time, I was just really shy. And, horse people are that way because, well, I'm a horse person that is, that enjoys the company of horses and not necessarily people, because it's just, shy and struggle to be loud enough, in those situations. And then, so that's how I came up. And then through just practice. And, I was teaching a lot under supervision. So they're like, oh, maybe this is a better way to say this, or, something like that. That really helped. It's just, get out there and do it until you gain confidence. And then once you gain confidence, you find that the words and that, what you're talking about. And it's tricky finding different ways to describe it to people so that they can gain confidence and have success on the back of a horse. I think that's the biggest thing that you can get from a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in Europe, their system is set up that the instructor, or who would be the mentor for the young instructor, they are also on the hook if you don't pass, right? So it is that person, of course, doesn't want to have their learning student learning or their learning student. They want them to pass. So it's a really interesting. It's a built-in police thing. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like, it's built in that your instructor will help you.
They're invested in you.
Invested. There we go.
Yeah. They make sure that the people are really connected and invested and accountable. So that's why I think that's a great. I mean, it should be the model everywhere.
Yeah, but I think too. I mean, you and I for sure. I mean, obviously we have this podcast, and we're very lucky because we get a lot of opportunities through this. One of the many reasons we do it, right, is we're able to gain knowledge. We're able to go to events, but you really have to put effort into it as well. You cannot just sit at home and, I mean, obviously the internet now and that kind of stuff, but it is important to know where the information is coming from. Is it, there's a lot of information and is it vetted and is it good information, that kind of thing. So I think part of it is you got to put yourself out there. You got to go. You got to find a mentor that will help you in any of this. And if you're going to be a TD or a steward, or you're going to be a judge, I mean, all of this is really important. And I really do believe most people want to help and want to help you grow. And if you find someone that doesn't want to help you grow, then maybe it's time to find someone else. But there are plenty of people around, and I know it's scary at sometimes to send an email or to connect, but truly that's the way you have to do it. And I think that's phenomenal when you do. So we hope this discussion helps you. Obviously, the instructor trainer development program in the US is redone to kind of help with this. But there still is. You've got to get out there and you've got to read and you've got to educate yourself. And So I hope that this is all good information and that you will move forward in your journey to be a certified instructor, but also that is the best thing for our industry as we move forward in all the different ways. Wouldn't you say, Phil?
Absolutely.
Well, we have a book club book going on. It is by Eric Smiley, The Sport Horse Problem Solver. And shout out to Jessie. She's a young professional in Pennsylvania, and she wrote us and said how much she really enjoys or is enjoying this book. So we're already getting great feedback, and we hope everyone's going to love it. As always, keep those email and Facebook shout outs coming. The United States Dressage Federation is your connection to dressage education, competition, and achievement. Visit USDF.org for more information. That's www.usdf.org, the online destination for dressage. You can find our show notes and links to today's guest on our page at horseradionetwork.com. Search Dressage Radio Show. Like us on Facebook, just search Dressage Radio Show. Follow us on Twitter at Horse Radio. My website is maplecrestfarmky.com, and my email is reese@horseradionetwork.com.
I think the best way to find me is probably through Facebook, and my email is philip@horseradionetwork.com. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week for allowing us to put on a good show. That's Kentucky Performance Products. If you'd like to support our show and the Horse Radio Network, you can do that through the auditor program found at horseradionetwork.com.
Everybody, keep your heels down and your shoulders back, and we will talk to you next week.